Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do? And he's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, board-certified criminal defense lawyer, where I actually go to court and I try cases. I don't just hold your hand and write you a passport to prison. So I'm here today with my pearl-handled pistol cufflinks, given to me by my son, Michael Rivers. Thank you very much for my birthday. And today's episode is brought to you by eForms.com. eForms.com. Go to eForms.com if you need a form, any kind of legal form. Power of attorney, loan agreement, eviction, whatever forms that they have on there. If you need some kind of form drafted, go to eForms.com first. Follow the link down below. Don't reinvent the wheel. Don't hire somebody like me, because I'll just go to eForms.com and then charge you a ton of money for doing what you could have done for free. So, Bruce Rivers here reacting to Andrew Tate. I almost hesitate. Michael wants me to do this, so I'm doing it. I'm not a fan, but this brings up a good topic, because Meta, that's the parent company for Facebook, has banned Andrew Tate from both Facebook and Instagram. Now, he had a huge following on both. Huge following, like millions of followers. And, it brings up a topic about First Amendment rights, having corporations being censors on the public airwaves. See, it used to be, when I grew up, oddly enough, this is how fucking old I am. When I grew up, there were only 3 TV networks, ABC, NBC, and CBS, right? And we had a couple of local channels, but it was just basically those. And you didn't have the social media that you have today, but you had standards. You had the FCC. You couldn't swear, and you get fined big time if you swore, or no nudity, blah, blah, blah. Now we have cable TV. We have in fact, I just saw something today where streaming has outpassed cable TV as a medium of consumption for the folks. You don't have any regulations regulating the content of Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all these different social media platforms. So do we want these corporations, telling us what we can and cannot say? You don't have a right to have a Facebook account. You realize that, right? I mean, this is not a right. You don't have a right to have an Instagram. It's a privilege. And does Twitter and FaceGram and FaceGram? I said FaceGram. Okay, does Twitter and Instagram and Facebook? Maybe I should start that. Maybe I should start FaceGram. Anyway, do they have an interest in you having an account? Of course they do. Why do they have an interest in you having an account? Because it's all advertising. It's advertising, selling products. Look at Amazon, how huge Amazon has gotten. They started out just selling books, but with the social media explosion, now they're selling everything. It's a platform. So when you say shit or fuck or pussy, or you say any derogatory thing and it negatively impacts the advertisers, well, of course they're gonna limit you and they're gonna cancel you. Because you start hurting my bottom line, we're going to do that. So let's see what Mr. Wonderful has to say.
What's next for you? Like, what do you?
First of all, I just love that he's sitting there without a shirt, because it must be so hot in that studio that he needs to just sit there without a shirt on.
Instagram a couple hours ago wouldn't let me. I have good people in the case. I trust due process with Instagram. I'm actually quite understanding of their position. I do understand it very, very well. I'm not angry at them in any regard. It's not a big loss for me. It's not something I use too often. But I do understand their position, because we're actually living in a world now where it's kind of strange. This is an unprecedented period of human history, and we have internet.
Listen to him talk. He sounds almost reasonable here.
Sensationalism, global sensationalism on a scale which has never happened before.
That's true. Things that are sensational get, and here's the thing. When you guys watch my channel, or Michael's in my channel, you watch Criminal Lawyer Reacts, I'm not going to be the sensational guy. It's a little sensational because I'm reacting to Andrew Tate, I guess, a little bit. But the message you're always going to get from my channel is one of positivity, creativity, building, and respect. and hopefully life affirming, because I want the young guys to quit killing each other. I want everybody to start building a future and being positive, find a mate, and be loving towards everybody around you and build your relationships.
And also, we have the ability to edit things so quickly, right? So you can say something on a stream and they can remove all context, or you can say something and they can change the tone of your voice, or you can say something.
It's already happened to me.
But we've seen all the crap that he said, and no matter how you change it, it never sounds good.
Yes.
Exactly. And then what they can do is they can throw that in front of a hate mob, and then internet sensationalism can take control, and people can start to believe in narratives which are false, and then
it is true that people sometimes can start to believe a narrative.
Take some kind of action against that. So I understand all these things. I understand.
But here's the thing. He's created the narrative. He's the one who said that women, should be controlled. Women should be beaten. Women should be whatever the crap he said. And I'm not going to try to repeat the things he said. But he's not a victim here at all.
That with great power and great influence comes great responsibility. And I'm very understanding of the situation.
And guess what? When he's taking $5,000 for somebody to go into the fucking dungeon of secrets and dragons or wherever the fuck they were doing, these guys in their Cheeto-stained underwear in their mother's basements, hoping they can get some self-esteem by giving him money. Great responsibility.
I think that...
But what color is your Bugatti? I don't have a Bugatti. I would never buy a Bugatti.
I'm a strongly religious man.
What was that? Let's hang on. Let me just... I think I heard that wrong.
I'm a strongly religious man.
What? He's a strongly religious man.
I believe that God will prevail. The truth will prevail.
Right.
The one thing that's a little bit annoying, because a lot of people have been insulting me for a long time on all platforms.
But he's easy to insult, right? He's everything's in excess. I don't even enjoy sex anymore because I've had so much sex. Blah, 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 fucking blah.
Platforms. And that's fine. It really doesn't bother me because I'm an extremely strong person. I know that some people would be very, very uncomfortable in my position. Not many people can sleep at night with the kind of death threats I've been getting, but for me, it's been fine, right?
You're getting death threats?
Oh yeah, and this is the thing that's crazy, right? So I would get 10 to 20,000 death threats a day.
Here's the thing. I don't think he needs to worry about those internet death threats. I think the people that he's involved with in organized crime, they don't give death threats. All of a sudden, we just don't hear from him anymore. If you believe everything he says, these comments about the mob and stuff, guess what? The mob doesn't like that. The mob doesn't like it when you talk about the mob. In fact, if you are with organized crime, the last thing they want is notoriety. So, a lot of that is just bluster, like when I commented about him going to the lawyer saying, I committed multiple felonies, blah, 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 blah. Tell me I'm not going to jail. It's just that hype, that puffery, that bluster.
What?
Via Instagram.
Via Instagram.
And they would take no action, even if I reported them. However.
So he does have a point there, because I've had situations where people say things, about me on the internet that weren't true. Getting Google or, any of the platforms to take action is very difficult. So for them to go after somebody that's huge like this, it's a little bit of a double standard. They've
now decided I'm the danger. And even the people who were supporting me, I was crazy. Yeah. I was saying, look, if you're going to support me in public, if you're going to discuss things in comments, please do it respectfully, because hate on hate. Please do it respectfully.
Oh my God. When I think of respect, I think of Andrew Tate. That's who I think of when I think of respect towards women. I think of Andrew Tate with his shirtless sunglass interview.
I have a question. Right? The guy saying in the DMs that are going to kill you. Be honest. If they saw you in person, you think they'd keep that same energy?
I know, of course not. But it's just about the fact that there's a lot of hate around on the internet, and I don't believe that hate versus hate is going to win.
All right, I'm not going to react to any more of that crap. But I do agree with that last statement. I don't think hate wins. You know, I'm not trying to preach it, even though I'm fucking railing on Andrew Tate, and I probably shouldn't be. But he does bring up a good point. I mean, he brings up a point about social media controlling the narrative, and censoring. Whether you don't have a First Amendment right to the internet. In the First Amendment context, is really all about government interference with our First Amendment rights. So, a private party can interfere with your rights, and there's, a remedy for that. And that is either a contractual remedy or a defamation case or whatever. You don't have a First Amendment right to any speech. But, there's a fine line between having a free and open discussion or if we're being manipulated by these social media giants. And they are giants. The amount of money that's going through Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and all these different platforms, and YouTube, it's just absolutely mind-boggling. So this is just our reaction to kind of I know Andrew Tate really is not what I wanted to react to, but he brings up an important discussion about the either cancellation or the censorship by large media, social media sites. So, Bruce Rivers, Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, and we have a content genius whose name is Michael Rivers. He's our producer, editor, and all-out internet creator. Fantastic, and he's also the purveyor of fine cufflinks everywhere. So, please follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter, subscribe, follow, do all that stuff right now. Right now. We'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts.
Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. 23-hour lockdown, please, is that my God?